and gentlemen, yesterday was my day off. And as I've always told you guys this, everything always happens on my day off. Never, ever does anything ever happen when I'm here, because that would make sense. I'm here working, right? But no, it has to always happen on my day off, when I'm trying to relax with my wife, when I'm trying to run errands and get shit done. That's when the crap hits the fan with every possible thing, even the most unlikely shit, correct? So, what happens yesterday, I never expected. I know it's unprecedented, unbelievable, right? Like, holy crap, who would have thunk that what happened yesterday would have possibly happened, all right? So, I get wind of this, actually, from my moderators, of all people, because I was actually just kind of casually doing stuff on and off between little times that I had times to do stuff, all right? And it just so happened, you know, my wife was getting ready for the day, you know, she's in the shower or whatever, and I'm like, all right, let me just open my phone for a few minutes and see what the heck's going on the internet. And I open my phone, and my moderators are kind of freaking out. They're like, are you aware that Keemstar just made a video about you apologizing publicly for his behavior? And I was like, no, and that seems kind of unlikely or weird. And I'm like, well, I'm going to check it out for myself. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, before I even make a single comment about it, I think that we should watch it together live, shouldn't we? Shouldn't we just give it a clean watch, so that way it can't be misconstrued in any possible way, right? So here it is. First of all, we'll watch this, and then I'm going to tell you, you know, how I reacted to it here, all right? So, ladies and gentlemen, unedited, pure, unscripted. He's blocked, by the way. He's blocked on Twitter. Let's see what Keem has to say about me. Are you ready? All right, here we go.
Dear Darkside Phil, DSP, I owe you an apology. I do. Last night, I was just being a hater, and worse than that, I was being hypocritical. For those of you that don't know the context, we were watching a Review Tech USA exposed documentary last night. There was this section that came up between DSP and Review Tech USA, and my chat was...
For the record, I don't know what documentary he's talking about. I don't think this is the June the King one, because I don't think there is a section in the June the King one that's me versus Rich. So he must have been watching a different documentary. I don't even know which one.
Spamming DSP is king because he's having a redemption arc right now because of the casino. And I basically said something along the lines of, you guys can all like have this little troll that he's king, but that guy's still a loser and he's going to remain a loser. He's always going to be on level 1, da-da-da-da-da-da. And this morning I woke up thinking about that, and I'm like, I am just being a fucking hater. I'm just being a hater. But more than that, I'm being hypocritical. What is Lolcow Live, right? Part of it is redemption arc for Wings and Boogie. You know what I mean? So why am I hating on someone else having a redemption arc moment? Like, that didn't sit right with me. So I owe you an apology, Darkside Phil. I may think in my head that you're not going to take advantage of this opportunity and you're going to end up right where you are, but I shouldn't hope that. I shouldn't put that energy out there, right? So yeah, I know we have our differences and whatnot, but I was wrong to shit on you last night and shit on the moment that you're having, and I apologize. Dear Dark...
Whoa, almost replayed it. Okay, so that's it in its entirety. Unedited, no commentary from me on it whatsoever. I felt like the best way to approach it would be to do an honest playing of what it is, so you guys now have heard what he had to say, and you could judge for yourself, okay? By the way, I'm being told the documentary he was watching was by someone called Mikey No H More, Mikey Nohmore. So it was, I guess now that June opened the floodgates with his documentary, you're going to see a ton of Rich documentaries coming out there, I would guess, right? Okay. Couple quick shout-outs, by the way. Some Kind of Taco did a $5 super chat. Hit the like button. Yes, thank you. And did we hit it? We're at 234 likes, guys. We have almost 700 viewers. Let's hit 250 likes right now. All right? Thank you, guys. All right. And Helly interested in super chat. Because I know you game isn't for you. I know the game isn't for you. Could you see yourself trying out Monster Hunter Wilds in 2025? It's a maybe. I'm not disinterested in it. I like the Monster Hunter universe, but As I said many times, I tried playing the beta of Monster Hunter, whatever the last one was, World, years ago, and no one liked it. People literally told me on my stream, stop playing this beta. It's incredibly boring, and I only played it the one stream, and that was it. So really, it's about public opinion, not about me and what I like. I guess we'll see next year what happens with public opinion. Okay? Okay? All right. So, I have played this apology from Keemstar in its most honest, unedited form, right? There's no way that you can say that I spun it in a way. I didn't comment on it. What I'd like to do is I'd like to actually take a look at what I posted yesterday, because I basically quote tweeted it, right? And I said, should I respond to this? And by the way, this is all I said about it all day. Should I respond to this? And what I'd like to do is just go through and actually try to get some public opinion on if you guys think that I should actually respond to Keemstar or not. So we'll just scroll all the way to the bottom here. And we'll read, we're probably not going to read all of them, but we'll try to get through them here. So we got, no, LOL, Keemstar is begging on his knees for you to entertain his dead show, LOLOLOL. Just don't let him worm his way into getting you on his show unless you want to. You should glaze him like you did on side-scrollers. You're a grown man, figure it out. How do you not realize after all these years you're being trolled by Kino and all of this is just an entire saga? No, Keem is a slimy bastard that is just trying to cozy up to you to get you onto his quickly dying podcast. You're still a level 1 beggar. I don't think you even have a 1-up on Rich. Well, there you go. But that being said, we're 5 likes away from 250, and it would be great if we could get some tips on the stream. It would be really great if you could fill the king's coffers today. If we could get some kingly tips here on the stream to hit the goal, that would possibly empower the king. All right, on this topic. All right, so let's get some tips going. All right, let's continue. Don't king, you are better than that. Oh, now you think you have friends. You're getting all brave. Go cry in a car park. That's an interesting one. Go cry in a car park. Ignore this peasant. He's jealous of the casino and wants to ride your coattails, your majesty. I mean, you just did. I did. All I said was, should I react to it? Asking someone if I should react to it is not an actual reaction. Don't you like, I just played it, and I absolutely added no commentary. I did not react to this yet. Okay? Yeah, he's being a man about something for once. You just did. And false. Shit on him, king. Built him hard. Or be nice, because he seems somewhat sorry. But it could be bait just to get you to talk to him. Good luck, king. So either utterly destroy Keem, felt him entirely, humble him, or be extremely nice to him because he could be telling the truth. This guy covered all the bases. Why bother asking? You've never taken anyone's advice. You always do everything correct. I mean, that is true. I did nothing wrong. I do everything correct. That is absolutely true. That's why I don't need a redemption arc, by the way. He is not worthy. All right? Why would a king ever bother responding to an insect? Wow. I mean, now, I'm not saying that Keemstar is an insect by any means, but even a king sometimes has to respond to an insect. If it's like buzzing around and bothering, he's like, swat it away or whatever. You some spray, clap it and squish it or whatever, So, yeah, so sometimes you do have to respond. Although, again, that's not actually what I'm saying about Keem here. I'm just saying a king sometimes would have to respond to an insect, okay? I don't even know who this is. It's muted. I'm not going to unmute it. It's probably some abusive shitbag. I think so. Keem did act negatively, but he showed true, genuine remorse in this video. I hope you two can shake hands in the future and amend your career. To amend your career, excuse me. Plus, you're way better than that fat, bolding, druggy RTU dude. Fat, bolding. Bolding. Okay. By the way, thank you, Flaked and Baked. Flaked and Baked just gifted 10 memberships to the community. Thank you, Flaked and Baked. Anyone who's getting those, please enjoy. All right, let's continue. You won't. You're too afraid to. Okay. Phil, this is just my take. I would be amicable and bury the hatchet, but I wouldn't take any offers to do any content with him. It's just my opinion. You can forgive someone, but not want to be associated with them. It's a good point. To be fair, all right, I will say this. The Kino Casino guys pitched to me that I should do the Chained Together co-op with them and Josh Moon. And I told them there is no way I would be willing to do that until we had a conversation. I need to speak with Josh. I need to feel this out. I need to get a vibe from this guy. This is a guy who runs a website that's hurt myself and my family and my business for the last 5 or more years. There's no way I'm going to be doing gameplay with this guy until I speak with him first. You understand? So in this case, you know, he's saying, don't do any offers to do any content with him, right? Like, just to be fair, there's no way I would do any real content with Keemstar until there was a conversation first. You understand? Like, there's no way. That's just the kind of guy I am. We have shit to talk about and hash out. You understand? Okay. No, go complain for donos on your stream. All right, I will. Guys, thank you so much because we have hit 250 likes on this stream. I really appreciate that. We can get some more. I mean, we have over 600 viewers, and I'm sure that at least half of you are not pocket watching hater losers. You know, really detractive waste of life shitbags. So if you could like the stream, if you're not like that and you're a good person, that would be great because that would help a lot. And of course, as I've already stated, thank you for the support I'm getting here. It'd be great if we get some more tips because I'm trying to hit that tier 2 tips goal by the end of this podcast. Okay, so let's do it. All right, let's continue. All right. Wait, what? Jewish Star? The Star of David? Star of David isn't even worth being pissed on by you. Really? He's not even worth being pissed on by you. Wow. Some of these opinions are something else. Again, I haven't said a word yet. I'm just reading what the public is saying about this situation, okay? Maybe be a man and make a decision for yourself without asking someone else what to do. There you go. Because as we all know, real men literally would never take in other opinions and consider them before making their own decision. They just rashly jump to a conclusion or make a rash judgment. You know, of course, that's what real men do. That's right. Anyway, Keem is just swapping out the vinegar for honey, manipulating you, buttering you up to once again try to entice you into failing Lol Cow Live. But now you have a different energy, and he knows that he can't shame you into it, so he's going this route. Okay? Here's a good one. DSP right now. Oh! Well, I don't know what he's talking about. All I see here is that Mr. Marsh here, he's seen a spooky ghost. And he was completely slimed. There's ectoplasm everywhere, and Keem is watching live and actually reacting to it. So I don't know what that's supposed to be. The fuck is all this about? It's clearly, I'm clearly out of the loop. All right? He's still seething. You saw it through his BS when he tweeted a job offer for you at Lolcow. At this time, I wouldn't respond. I would just accept his apology for his words last night, understand he's still a snake, and move on. Call him washed out. It's what he is. Look at this one. Keem apologizing, recognizing the king's status. What timeline did I shift to? This is fucking rad. I don't know why he has like a giant chain chomp from Mario 64, but okay. I wouldn't bother. He's being really, obviously superficial. Fuck no. Get this gnome out of the court of the king. There's no need to, king. Take it for what it is. Keem is beneath your royal stature anyway. The wolf does not concern himself with the opinions of the sheep. Wow, we got some interesting takes on this. The wolf does not concern himself with the opinions of the sheep. Sheesh. Once you put the clown makeup on, it never comes off. That sounds familiar. I might have heard that one somewhere. I didn't watch the clip, but my answer is no, never respond to Keem. Why not? Someone posting up my most embarrassing moment from 2016, like I haven't seen this about 70, 80,000 times. He needs to put on a clown costume and makeup. Oh, Keem? Keem needs to put on the clown costume and makeup, you're saying. So he needs to dress up fully like a clown. Go on Lolcow. A lot of people would enjoy it. Let him cook. This isn't even an apology. He apologized for saying you're a loser beyond redemption, but then by saying that's what he thinks in this very apology. He has once again said publicly you're a loser beyond redemption. He's a catty, passive-aggressive worm. A worm. This is great. I should have been doing this all along on the show. This is very entertaining. For the record, I haven't done anything yet. I'm just reading off of Twitter, and I'm highly entertained. I don't know about you guys. This is great. This is great content. You know what? Yeah, anyway. Romance Keemstar. Someone wants me to romance Keemstar. To actually, like, send him roses and rare and, like, valuable chocolates. And to offer him out on a... I'll be honest. I mean, Keem has a lot more money than me. All right. I think if anything, I'm the one who should be wined and dined here. Point. Right? I mean, that's like, you're on the street and you're walking down the street and a homeless person hands you a sandwich. You'd be like, the hell is this? Here you go, sir. Here's a foot long from, Firehouse Subs. What the shit? You'd be so confused, right? That doesn't make much sense, does it? By the way, I have a couple of tips to call out. I have a $3 tip here. I wouldn't respond to any of that type of stuff. Rather, consolidate your newfound momentum, as the Kino Casino boost will only last so long. Focus on creating content we're here for rather than spotlighting any more drama. Even if it's vindicating, this is all feels like bait. I'm loving your main content. Let's focus on that. That's an interesting opinion. I appreciate that. And thank you also for the $3 tip there. In addition, I received a $5 tip from an anonymous tipper. Would you talk to Keemstar on your own podcast? Well, hold on. I haven't responded yet, right? I haven't. Let's continue. Let's keep going. And then, I know what I have my piece to say, but let's get to it, right? I don't know if you heard about this thing. It's called suspense. Plus, I'm really enjoying these comments. I'm actually having a good time with these comments. By the way, this isn't the final topic of the show. We're actually going to talk about Duty after this topic. But, because Duty is the least important thing, that's why I left him for last. He's bowing down. I say yes. No, it's bait. I wouldn't trust Keem ever. He's just going to try a new grift on you. Yes, thumbs up. Here's Booker T when he was the king. Do it, king. Yes, sir, of course, respond, Phil. Don't trust him. It's bait. He's trying to bait you into something you'll regret. Keep up what you're doing. Hell no, Keem is seething. I would. This is massive. It's below the king to entertain such petty trifles. Well, there's nothing to say. Let his silence speak volumes in its own right. Tell him he's welcome to guest on your stream as the court jester. A costume is mandatory. Rafiki. Someone knows my favorite animated movie, The Lion King. Rafiki saying, the king has returned. Thank you, Rafiki. DSP says in a soy voice, Keem, you are someone who. Huh? You're a coward, Phil? When you came face to face with Keem, you had no balls and couldn't tell him what you really thought about it. Okay. Yes. No response needed, King. Keemstar has seen the error of his ways and accepts your kingly status. Let him be, for he is no longer a threat to the domain. Absolutely, you should. Yeah, yes, don't trust Keem. Look how Boogie is being treated. Yeah, yeah, it's a fair point, right? Go off, King. Absolutely, Keem's starting to grow on me. No DNI with Keemstar. He ruins everything. Give him your royal pardon. All hail the king. Him doing this is hell freezing over on its own. But it's on you if you forgive him. Yes. You should trust him like you trust the Kino Casino bros. This could benefit you. You just did. No, I didn't. Yes. Just that you gracefully accept his submission. I wouldn't. He said what he wanted. That's cool. Consider it a closed issue. Don't do it. Reciprocate in kind and leave it at that. Benevolence and generosity are as important to a king as the strength and courage to smite one's enemies. Don't make war with neighbors who pursue peace. There you go. You will regardless. Of course. Yeah. No. WoW King, another RTU hater who wants to become your friend. Winter is coming. It's a trap. I wish I had that, Admiral Akbar. It's a trap. Yes. Talk about the game. Oh, talk about the game. That means, yes, do it on the next Lol Cow live podcast. Just say I accept your apology and move on, brother. The comeback's real. We're almost done. Let's fucking go. The King and Keem reconciliation. Say what you want about Keem, but that seemed genuine in my opinion. Either way, another dub for the King. Why not see this as an opportunity to guest on his podcast? Let Keemstar of David. Is this a meme? I didn't even hear this one before. Keemstar of David. That is so weird to me. Beg a little more before we even get a response from you, King. I wouldn't give Keem the time of day, if I'm being honest. I wouldn't get involved with Lolcow if I were you. That's a nice apology, though. Nah, it's clickbait. Fuck him. I think you should. No, he sees your rise. He's going to try and buy you now. He wants to buy me. You kind of already did. No, I didn't. This is, that's bait. It's the that's bait meme. Bait. Be careful. Depends on if you think it's genuine. He was genuine about it, and he felt the need to say it publicly. He was wrong. Real men do that. You should bury the hatchet. I mean, we're all human. If he admits his mistake, it's best to take it in stride and with good intentions. Keemstar always has an ulterior motive behind everything he does. Don't trust the snake. Time to collab. Phil, I don't trust a word that comes out of his mouth. Remember, the history and the type of guy that he is. If he's being honest, great, but time will tell. Things are going well with your channels right now, and long may that continue. F this guy if he doesn't deserve a minute of your time. All right, so reading every response that I could publicly see, because a lot of people I muted because they're assholes. I would say, judging by that, I'd say that's like a maybe 60-40. Like 60% of people are absolutely no, right? Some people are like, well, only do anything with him or address him if you're going to like felt him. Like make him come on your show, but then have him dress as a court jester. Kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. Having people dress up is kind of odd. Okay? Or some people are like, yes, completely believe this guy. Completely, forgive him and it's fine. It looks genuine. All right? So, based on all that feedback, all right, I don't think we're gonna respond to it at all. I think we're just gonna move on to our next topic for the show. Here we go. All right, so Dude D is at it again. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna actually say something. I was just, I'm not gonna skip it. All right. I gotta say something at least, right? I mean, it's pretty unprecedented that this guy would ever publicly apologize, right? So I will say something on it, all right? Now, first of all, I'm not going to go crazy here into detail, all right? But basically, here's what I see, right? He says in this apology, right? I'm sorry for being a hater because I was crapping on you last night, but I noticed in the chat as I was crapping on you that everyone was in my chat saying Phil is king, Phil is king. Everyone was being positive towards you. And I recognized that. And it took me time to think about it, but now I've kind of admit I'm being hypocritical and a hater because I myself make content that's supposed to be redemption arc content for Boogie and Wings. And for me to then say that is happening to you is bullshit and you're still going to be a loser and on level 1 is very hypocritical because it's going against what I'm doing, right? So for that, he apologized, right? But when he apologized, you got to listen to the context. Number one, he basically said in his apology, he does still think I'm a loser. Like, did you hear that? He basically said in his apology, well, I do still think you're going to fail, but just because I think you're still going to fail doesn't mean that I should be a hater, right? So he's apologizing for basically crapping on me publicly on his stream, but he literally just kind of pocket sneak this there and said, well, I still am going to hate you and think you're a jerk and you're always going to fail anyway, right? So has his opinion actually changed towards me? No, absolutely not. It's just he's apologizing for publicly attacking me in that way. It is still an apology, though. And that's something different. That's something big, no? To actually get an apology out of Keemstar. I mean, how many people have actually gotten an apology like that out of Keemstar? Probably not many. Probably he has over the years, I'm sure. But a guy like him, so egotistical and everything, to actually, like, apologize like that, right, is something different. It's kind of weird. It's weird to hear that, for me to even be talking about that, this morning, okay? Anyway, continuing on, right? So, him apologizing for crapping on me on his stream, all right, fair enough. And listen, here's the thing. He has the right to have any opinion on me he wants, okay? He does. I can't change someone's opinion. That's on someone else to change their opinion. Many of you had really bad negative opinions about me for how many years, right? And now all of a sudden, many of you have come by and genuinely started checking out my content. You realize that you like it, and now you're enjoying the ride, right? That's awesome. Maybe in time, that could be something that would happen with Keem, right? Maybe what it is he thinks that I'm just going to, within, a month, I'm just going to flub it all, and I'll be right back to where I started. And you know what? I kind of feel like that, too. I've already told you guys here on this very podcast that I feel like success is fleeting, that I've been to this level already. I've been above the level I'm at right now before in the past. I used to be one of the most prominent gaming YouTubers. I used to get 10 million views a month on YouTube, and that's not an exaggeration. That's what this channel was bringing in at its height of popularity. I was at the top of the search algorithm. Everyone cared about my opinion on games and other topics. I was big shit. Today, I'm this little rinky-dink dude, right? A little tiny guy. I'm just lucky to still have pertinence and have a following and a core audience that supported me all along. That's why I'm still here. But the fact that, this guy for so long has had this negative opinion on me, and now at very least realizes, well, maybe I just shouldn't be publicly talking about that opinion because it is bad with his redemption going on right now. I'm doing redemption art content, so it doesn't really make sense. That's at least something, right? That's an acknowledgement. It's a positive acknowledgement in one way, all right? And at the same time, perhaps there will be over time a feeling of that, change towards me. I don't think that for certain people, change doesn't come instantly, right? For many of you, you probably never even heard of me. And then when the Kino Casino stuff started, and then I started working with those guys, then all of a sudden, oh, you're exposed to me. Now you're interested, right? Now you like it. Keem has known about me for a very long time. He's seen the rise and fall, and he's seen all this shit. And, for him, maybe it's much harder to believe that someone like me could not fail, all right? I can kind of get that, all right? But it is a sneak diss at the same time, the way he's doing this, And by the way, we should say this too. The one reason why he's apologizing is because of the chat. You understand that? Like, he was streaming this documentary about Rich that was very, anti-Rich. He was slamming Rich and everything. And the segment came up about me, and he says, oh, he's a loser, whatever. And the chat's like, no, he's king. Don't you understand? People like him now. We're watching his content. All that stuff is bullshit. We don't care about it. We like Phil now. And it's not right that you're slandering him like this on your stream. It's just old, tired shit. Cut it out. Phil's king. And then when he saw that, he realized, oh, so I guess the shtick won't work anymore, right? Like, the shtick literally will not work. I can't just sit here and crap on Phil anymore because public opinion has changed. And now I have to change too, because if I keep the same old, tired, hate on Phil shtick going, people are going to say that I'm outdated, I'm tired, I'm not with the times, right? And that's how Keem is. He wants to stay in line with what's popular. And so he's now, that was probably the first time he even knew that I was going through any kind of a redemption arc, all right? And so now he's exposed to it. Oh, okay, well, now I'll change, all right? So is it a full-fledged, outright, oh my God, let's break bread and forgive each other kind of an apology? No, it is not. Not in any way, shape, or form. He's literally just saying, listen, I'm sorry that I insulted you publicly on my stream last night. That's it. All right? I mean, let's be honest here. Okay? This is not our first interaction, right? So, I got a few things to say, all right, before I even give a final statement on it. But I got a couple questions for Keem, all right? So, Keem, I got a question for you, all right? You remember when you were trying to get me to be part of your show, and instead of actually approaching me like a respectable person or a human or a professional, you yelled at me on your Twitter account, much like you just made this proclamation on your Twitter account, that I needed to contact you right away because there was an offer of $50,000 that was going to expire, right? You're basically making demands. Do you remember that? And do you remember how I was willing to have a discussion, but you basically couldn't contact me like a normal human with respect or dignity, like a business person? Instead, you expected me to drop everything in my life and work to contact you. You remember that, right? Okay. Now, you remember that after that happened, right, that then you continuously started to harass me systematically for about a year, saying negative things about me on your timeline. I mean, just a couple things here. I mean, you remember when you said that you were going to contact my friends and family to try to get dirt on me, and you were going to put all that out publicly. Remember that you were going to have a special edition of your show? You remember when you said that you were going to personally finance a Netflix documentary about me? Anyone remember that one? Yeah, he said he was going to actually finance and produce a Netflix documentary on me and put it on Netflix, a slanderous documentary talking all kinds of shit about me, right? This is not fake made up stuff. This is stuff he's all done publicly on his timeline. The same timeline where he's just posted this. He's done all of this. You remember? You remember last year I was on this show. It was called Side Scrollers. And when I was on the show, because the show was so popular at the time, because it was a rare interview with me, that you showed up and tried to make it about you. You remember when you decided to promote a stupid waste of time boxing match between Boogie and Wings during my interview with Side Scrollers. Do you remember that? I think I remember that happening. Okay? I do. I think I kind of recall some of this happening. Okay? Continue. Let's continue. Do you remember not even a month ago when on your Lolcow podcast Twitter account, you posted up saying that you were considering legal action against me because I had an opinion about your show stating that I felt that it was scripted. And you said that me saying that on my show, without prefacing it saying that it was my opinion, means that I was stating it as a fact, and that means that it's defamation or slander. I mean, I could actually analyze that for about an hour and completely destroy you, but I'm not going to because it's not worth my time, okay? But you remember that, right? You remember when you did that, right? And that was less than a month ago. By the way, did anyone notice that in the last month that his Lolcow podcast is literally all scripted content? He's got Boogie and Wings grocery shopping. He's got Boogie picking up trash on the side of the road, drinking bottles of piss. He's got Boogie and Wings going to the Democratic National Convention dressed like Trump supporters. Correct? I mean, you remember this, right? This is all happening. This is not me in like a fever dream. This is actually happening right now. That's the content he's putting out on his show. It's literally a scripted show. And that's what I said it was, and he threatened legal action. And then he decided to continue to put out scripted content. Correct? This is all public and happening, right? But by the way, this is my opinion, just for the record. This is my opinion. This is not fact. It's my opinion. Okay? So here's the thing, all right? Perhaps if we didn't have this long and storied history of you punching down on me, right? Like, I don't have enough shit to put up with my detractors who are insane clowns who are trying to ruin my life and my business and my family, right? Like, that's not hard enough on me. I need to have Keemstar also punching down into the pile on me, right? You know, maybe we didn't have that history. I would have watched this apology and I would have been like, you know what? I believe it. I totally believe it. I do. All right? But I'm going to be honest. We do have a history. And you have a history of basically being what's called a fair weather friend. What that means is, hey, when things are going good, now you want to ride that wave, right? You want to be associated with someone when they're popular, when people are liking them, when it benefits you. And then the moment that public opinion tips or dips, you drop them like a hot rock, right? That's it. You ride the trends. And listen, to some extent, maybe that should be well respected. Because you know what? You could definitely get over in life doing that. All right? Personally, I think it's abhorrent. I think that that's a very low moral standard, being honest here. But, hey, you basically have made a living doing it for how long, and you're continuing to do it. Here, that's all this is. Your chat told you, oh, Phil's doing good now. He is king. You really shouldn't do the old, shtick anymore. It doesn't work. And you immediately decided to change your tune and do this apology to me. Okay? But we know who you are. You're not a newcomer to the game. You've been in the game for so long. You have this track record. We know your personality. We know your intentions. All right? This is not some new shocking thing. Now, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've gotten this entire thing wrong. Maybe I've just gotten so many misconceptions about Keemstar from things I've heard. Then again, I do have this track record of nasty things he's done to me. So that's the experience I'm coming from. But maybe I'm wrong. All right? And so, in that spirit, okay, what I'd like to do is I would like to say, I would make an offer that I will appear on his Lolcow podcast for a very small contribution to the King's coffers of $50,000. If he would like to pay me $50,000 to appear on his show for a 2-hour segment, I will appear on his show for 2 hours for $50,000. And no, this is not a joke. 50 grand, and I will appear on his show. Now I'm actually making a real public offer that's actually, not bullshit. All right? 50 grand. and I will come on your show for 2 hours and we will talk about whatever. I mean, don't expect me to be doing any kind of crazy shit. But since you're so desperate to have the king on your show, I mean, literally, you've talked about me like every fucking show, pretty much. I mean, you had entire episodes dedicated to me. It only seems fair that the king should be collecting his tithes and taxes, right? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, 50 grand, and I'll go on the Lol Cow show for 2 hours, one live show, and we'll do whatever. Okay? Fair enough. Or I'll make a counter offer for you, because I'll be honest, I've seen the show recently. It's not very good. It's pretty bad. All right, the show is pretty much on its last legs at this point, even though you do have a large group of really mentally stunted people who watch it and think that it's like quality content. It's really bad, and you can tell that this show is definitely not going to exist forever. This is his latest venture of crap that's not going to work, just like his Happy Punch bullshit, where it was supposed to be a big thing that him and Boogie and Wings were going to keep boxing other people. It never happened. It fell apart. It's junk. No one likes it. And his show right now is falling apart. Oh, I have a host. Oh, the host is off the show. They're on the show. I'm paying the host. I'm not paying the host. Now I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Oh, we got no content. Oh, shit. Let's make Boogie pick up trash and drink piss. And it can only last so far. Especially for a guy like Keemstar, who's supposed to be retired, yet still seems to appear in every piece of content that he's involved in. So I'm going to make a counter offer, because I'll be honest, I don't think Keemstar can afford $50,000 for me to be on his show. I don't think that would happen. I think actually, and by the way, I'll say this too, no counter offers. It's either you accept the offers or nothing. There's no counter offer. We're not going to negotiate. This is, now you're in the king's court. You understand? I hold the cards now. So I control the situation, not you. I have all the power here, not you. So it's either 50 grand or nothing. 50 grand or I'm not going to be on your show. But I do have another offer for you. You appear here on my Level 1 podcast for free. You don't have to pay to be on my show. You can be a guest on my show. And we'll have a conversation live. What do you think about that? Now, here's the thing. In order to actually have that happen, Keemstar would actually have to find a way to lower himself to my level on level 1. Because usually what he does is he'll go on his Twitter and he'll scream and be like, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to be following you on Twitter. I'm not going to, if you actually literally go on Twitter right now and say, I accept, I don't give a fuck. You actually have to contact me like a man, like a business transaction, which is what this should be. Not you screaming like a child on Twitter and acting like an immature child. I want you to actually contact me via a method that makes sense. Email, it exists. I have email, right? Twitter, I do have a Twitter account. You're blocked on there. All right. So what I will do now, just to show good faith, the wrong mouse. To show good faith, I'll go and I'll unblock Keemstar on Twitter. So if he actually wants to send me a DM about appearing on this show, all right, we can talk about it. And by the way, I'm just going to tell everyone, I'm not guaranteeing that this is going to happen. This could just, you know this guy and his behavior. You know I don't like him. So very well, this could just fall apart immediately and never happen. And that's okay if it does, all right? I'm not expecting anything out of this, all right? But, you want me on your show, you got to pay the king's taxes. It's just that simple. All right. So 50 grand and I'll be on your show for 2 hours, or we could talk about you appearing on my show, the king's court. You're going to have to lower yourself down to level 1 if you actually want to have a real conversation with me. Don't post on Twitter about this. I don't care. If you do, I'm going to ignore you. Don't make any counter offers. I'm going to ignore them. It's my way or the highway, bro. So let's hear what you have to say about it.